Fun Facts presents the 1954 Buick Wildcat II. It is a 50s classic car. I've never heard of it before, but it was a concept car that was introduced in 1954. This thing is wild looking. I mean, the interior is incredible. It's a concept car. Okay, I am excited. I hope you're excited. So let's get started now. The original Buick Wildcat Concept Car 2 made its debut in 1953 at GM's Motoramas. The second Wildcat concept, the Wildcat II, was a rakish sports convertible with a fiberglass body and powered by a 220 horsepower V8 engine. This is 1953. Shit. Buick describes it as revolutionary front-end design with flying wing fenders that flare straight out from the body, exposing the entire front wheel and part of the front end suspension. The Wildcat II, the Buick Wildcat II, certainly embodied the company's design language. A much bolder and radical interpretation than the typical. Its proportions and platform were similar to the production Corvette, with a 100-inch wheelbase and measuring just 40.2 inches in height. With deeply pronounced flying wind contours that exposed the front wheels and part of the front suspension. This styling cue was similar to the late Ferrari Testarossas of the late 1950s and early 1960s. Other prominent features included a Dagmar styling bumper guards, ventiports, and twin swiveling headlights mounted alongside the panoramic windscreen. Power was from a Buick V8 displacing 322 cubic inches and developing 220 horsepower with the help of four side draft carburetors and dual exhaust that protruded from the lower edge of the rear body panel. Wow. The 1954 Buick Wildcat II was GM's interest in developing a small, powerful car with lightweight fiberglass bodies, resulting in the creation of the Chevrolet Corvette and the Buick Wildcat in 1953, but something very different by the next year. In the 1954 Buick Wildcat II had a very little in common with the original Buick Wildcat of 1953. Originally billed as the American adventurer in tomorrow's design, the newer Wildcat featured just as many retro styling cues as progressive details. The flying wing, the front fenders, and the biplane bumpers had the look of a 1930s speedster. Freestanding headlights and chrome spoke wheels provided nostalgia as well. Many concept cars are simply rolling hulks and were never given power trains, as they were only designed for auto shows. The Wildcat II was specifically made runnable in case GM chief Harlow Curtis decided to have one built for his personal use. The car is powered by a 220 horsepower, 322 cubic inch V8. Okay, as I am finding articles, they are repeating themselves a little bit, but there might be a couple tidbits of new information, so bear with me. These older cars sometimes don't have a lot of content, and I'm not struggling. I'm just reading from different websites, and hopefully I'm not boring you at this point. So let's go on with another article from supercars.net, and it's the 1954 Buick Wildcat II, while sharing a little in common with its predecessor, the Wildcat I, The Buick Wildcat II was recognized as the sportiest Buick build in the 1950s. Chief designer Ned Nicholas described the Wildcat II as an American adventure in tomorrow's design. Enamored by the two-seater fiberglass cars, Ned Nicholas and Harry Earl originally created the 1954 Buick Wildcat II with two spotlights. Reinterpreting tradition, the Wildcat display's Buick's trademark porthole design is uniquely placed on the top of the hood. Originally displayed in blue and later finished in gold, this dream car featured expanded front wheel wells with polished metal inner fenders, finished off with wide white wall tires. The Wildcat II continues to travel and evade the rumored fate of the 1955 Wildcat III, assumed to have been destroyed in a wrecking equipment test. Now that's no good, right? Let's see if we can find any more here. Okay, I'm going to finish with an article from Motor Trend, and it is going to be talking about this particular car at the Detroit Autorama in 2015. And I'll put a link below the video just in case you want to read the full article and see the beautiful photos. So let's face it, it's the 2015 Detroit Autorama is being held in Motown, and that is the home of the automotive industry in America. Not only everyday drivers, but also all-like and manner of performance car and the dreams cars and concept cars, as they are formally referred. And that brings us to the one of the specialty displays here in the Cabo Hall, the 1954 Buick Wildcat II. When the Wildcat I came out in 1953, it was an astounding success. Some even thought it was too good and shelved so that the Chevrolet Corvette could gain its own traction and move forward. Well, there are other stories, and while we may not be sure it can be agreed upon that we wish Buick had come out with the Wildcat 1 or 2, as this was a way too cool to be left languishing. It was way too cool to be left languishing in the back room of a designer center. Over the past few years, both Wildcats have graced the Cabo floor, and crowds have always gone by to take a look. You will find the entire exercise interesting. There is a little doubt that the radical fender design was both distinctive and captivating. Everyone remarks about the styling associated with the fenders. No fence sitters here. You either like it or you don't. I love it. I always liked it, as it did make the car noticeably different than the Corvette. Buick stayed out of the two-seater sporty car crowd until much later, but you can see elements of its design, such as the front bumper, rear taillights from the Wildcat II in later full-size car designs. The Wildcat II weighed in at a rather robust 3,770 pounds. That is heavy, which would have hurt its performance back in the day. I mean, when you think about it, this was a fiberglass body, so yeah, this thing was it was like a tank. Its wheelbase was a short by 50 standards at 100 inches, but they neatly nestled between its frame rails was a 322-inch V8 topped with 4 carburetors that pumped out a respectable, by the day standards, 220 horsepower. And in fact, it would have been all the Corvette of 54 would have wanted to tangle with, knowing the outcome probably would have been unwanted. Whoa. Those are racing words right there. Those are racing words right there. Only one was ever made, but we wish they had made a lot more. Okay, well, if you found yourself this far into the video, thank you for watching the video. And I want to just share with you that I think what we're looking at in the way of images, if there was only one made, then what that's telling me is somebody's had to have knocked off these other Buick Wildcat IIs, because there seems to be, you know, a few different colors, and you know, maybe it is the Wildcat 1, so I'm doing the Wildcat 1 and the Wildcat 2 perhaps here. Thank you again for taking the time out of your day to watch our video. If you like our video, please give us a thumbs up. It really does help our channel. And if you like our channel, please subscribe, because we'll be doing all the unique cars from the 50s and 60s, the muscle cars from the 60s, 70s. We'll be doing supercars and hypercars. We'll be getting into the Autoramas and car shows and the hot rods. So there's a little bit of everything for everybody. And again, thank you. We hope to see you when we upload our next video. And always, 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 take good care.